Hello, not so long ago FiiO announced a few really interesting products and today I will review first of them. I have a few other in the queue. And today let's talk about the product that is probably twice more interesting because it's a rare form factor, it's earbuds. They named it FF3 and second F here means flat, so they decided to call this type of earphones flat. Well, it's pretty explainable. And earbuds are not common on this market, but there are a few fans of this form factor and they offer some good benefits. And the price is $100. As far as I know, FiiO had in plans FF5, a more advanced model that they're going to announce a bit later. But today let's talk about this one. It cost $100 and FiiO spent time creating good design. They used a big 14mm beryllium plated dome driver, so in all aspects it should be a pretty interesting product. So with this assumption, let's have a closer look. Package is traditionally well done. I like this modern approach to the design. It's pretty consistent for different FiiO products and I like that too. And it's not only offers great polygraphy, but it also really pleasant to touch. You know, this combination of texture and embossed earbuds on the front panel looks fancy. So no technical specifications on the back panel. Inside you'll get the manual. Actually, did they print some technical specifications inside? So they showed what you can do here. So as far as I see, no technical specifications, but if someone interested, it's easy to find them online. And inside there are earbuds themselves and accessories. So in the accessory set, we are getting hard plastic case, you know, still surprisingly good for this price tire. Few different set of foam tips, so let's open them to see what we are getting. So regular ones. Donut shaped ones, and what we've got here, so another flat type ones, but as I see they are a bit thinner, so probably they will have a bit different sound signatures. And as you can see, you're getting tons of these foams. Really generous move. And also they added replaceable jack, so 4.4mm balanced one. You can swap the cable here. So presentation part is done on a really great level, even exceeding this price tire. In terms of design, you know, they are really good. They are probably better than I've expected for the $100, and surprisingly they are better in terms of design comparing to the FiiO's previous flathead or earbuds flagship that I reviewed some time ago. Now this model is made of metal and actually build quality is really nice. You can notice a lot of work with shape, so shape is pretty complex. FiiO said that overall this shape is inspired by drums, and yes, definitely they remind them a little bit. Build quality is really good, and all small nuances show that they are really solidly built. And you can see that this actually probably it can be called faceplate. This surface has interesting texture. It's covered with glass and looks pretty fun and attractive. They are a bit heavy, but this time this heaviness actually is a positive thing, because thanks to this heaviness they giving you a better fit to ears, so they fitting into ears more reliably. Well, at least into my ears, so all ears are different, so I can't say for everyone, but to my ears they fitting really well and hold more solid than typical plastic earbuds. Interesting complex shape of the front grille. I'm not sure, is it some acoustic dampening or just they made it this way because it looks fancy, but it looks fancy. There are two color versions, black one and more bright silver one. Unfortunately, cables are not replaceable, but actually there is a long strain reliefs, so you can be sure that cable will be pretty reliable here. And you can wear them cable down or over the ear, but actually this time cable down wearing is more comfortable for me. Usually I have some troubles fitting earbuds, but this time it's okay. Of course, sound isolation is noticeably below average, but it's pretty expected for this form factor. And stock cable, here they used some silver plated copper. It's average in terms of softness, not super hard, but not super soft. But in general is really comfortable in everyday wearing. There is a splitter with chin slider, and after the splitter it goes down to the signature replaceable jack. So they decided to use replaceable connectors here. You can unscrew this part and pull out this jack. So it requires some force to be applied, but in general it's nice design. So you can pull it off, then you see the groove here and notch here, so carefully put it in place and screw back, and that's it. You can get it balanced. I will need to fit it a bit better, but I will do that later off camera. So as you can see, in terms of design and build quality, it's also really well. There are some drawbacks for the earbuds. For example, sound isolation is noticeably lower compared to in-ear monitors, and also they depend on the fit because different people have different outer ear. So impressions on sound for some earbuds can be totally different. And probably this one won't be an exception. But there are a few pluses. For example, not everyone is like to fit something into the ear channels, and then earbuds came to the rescue. Also, they providing bigger sound stage because they are not isolating channel, so stage usually is a bit bigger. It's easier to fit a big dynamic driver into this form factor, and also with these earbuds you can hear what's going on outside you, so in some cases it could be a noticeable plus. But in general, as you can see, all external things for this FF3 is made on a really good level. And of course about the sound, and I can summarize everything in one short phrase. So sound is really good, and for $100 I can call it great. So that's it, period. So you can skip the rest of the video. I burned them in for about 2 days, about 48 hours, and there were no significant sound change. But of course, many of you would like to hear more detailed description of their sound. Please keep in mind that for earbuds, sound is really subjective because it really depends on the shape of your outer ear, and it changes drastically with feet, angle, and so on. It's less so for the in-ear monitors because with proper fits they work about the same for different ears. But for earbuds it's totally different. But in general, I think that a lot of people will like this tuning because it's pretty natural. It can be probably called audiophilic, but at the same time it's not dull, it's not monitoring, and overall it's really well balanced. So FiiO published a frequency response chart on the forums and on their page, and actually it looks scary, almost baseless and with a big spike in the presence area. And a lot of people started saying that these earphones will sound awfully. Luckily for me, I'm not a fan of frequency response chart as a source of judging about the earphones, And also I assume that for the earbuds the chart is totally different, because this model is not bass shy. It's not bass heavy, it's not warm sounding, but bass here is present, and it's pretty deep, and it has nice weight and impact. But of course still keep in mind that it's not that amount of pump and drive and weight that in-ear monitors will give you. Bass here is really good in terms of details, not super focused on the micro contrast, but pretty detailed, natural, and actually rich with overtones. But at the same time, weight here distributed totally different compared to the in-ear monitor, so keep it in mind. Weight will be here, but it won't be as shaking and as dominating as with in-ear monitors. But if you want to get more weight actually and more bass presence, you can use foam tips. So basically what foam tips does here is making sound less bright and more warm. But actually I prefer them this way, without any tips, and actually it's a rare situation, because they usually I use some kind of foams, because they improve fit and they changing sound to more balanced. Here I use them in bare form, and I like it. And actually sound description is made for such version without foams. And so let's summarize part about the bass. Good amount of weight, but it represented a bit differently compared to the in-ear monitors, so keep that in mind. And as an example, I actually select the track that relies on the amounts of low frequencies. It's Mindfields by the Prodigy. It requires dominating punchy bass, and of course this track sounds better with in-ear monitors, especially with some bass head ones. You'll get that sense of shaking eyeballs in your skull. But with this model still it sounds really pleasant. And with some acoustic instruments with double bass, and it's even better because they sound really nuanced and pretty rich. Mid frequencies are well balanced. There is no attempt to soften something, to make it warmer or to boost dynamics and emotions, but in general dynamics is great and emotions represented well when they are present in the record. There is a slight boost in the upper mids area, so female voices sound with additional hint of crispness, and distorted guitar sounds pretty fun and engaging. But what's super surprising here really much, it's of course imaginary stage. It's bigger than probably only flagship in-ear monitors can compare with earbuds in terms of stage, and this one is not an exception. It's spacious, it's pretty wide, depth is a bit worse than width, but still with a good layering, and you're getting that sense of slightly boosted three-dimensional stage. Sometimes stage feels a bit bigger than it should be, but it's a matter of adapting to the in-ear monitor, to the earbuds probably. And they are not super critical for the quality of records, but still better material will give you better result. And as an example for the mid frequencies, here is one of my most favorite tracks in the Robert Plant solo career. It's Darkness, Darkness. Really emotional, masterful vocal, accompanied with a good instrumental part, but of course vocal of Plant is the main staple here. It's actually, if we remove all instruments, this song probably will be a bit worse, but not by much, at least for me, because vocal here is really emotional, really touching you, and so on. And a good balance of mid frequencies here, good representation of emotions really allows this track to shine. And actually imaginary stage that is pretty big also sounds in a pleasant way. And treble. Treble is slightly energetic, it's slightly boosted, so if you're treble sensitive, it's better to try them before buying, or use foam tips, because foam tips makes treble a bit more comfortable. But to my ears they are not over bright, they come close to the limit of being bright for me, but not crossing it. And actually what surprised me here, it's also that treble is pretty balanced. It has a good extension, nice attacks and decays, slightly slower than they should be, but not by much. And that gives you good overtone saturation. You know, usually earbuds have one of two types of tuning. Either it's something bass head and warm and more comfortable for casual listening on the street, or it's something bright to give you bigger stage and more details. This model is actually balancing low frequencies and treble for me really well. So as you can already understand, I really like these earbuds. I'm not a fan of earbuds in general, but this one touched me really noticeably. And as an example, another track that I like, it's Yugoslavian band Bijelo dugme. It's famous because Bregovic started here as one of their leaders of this group, and the track named ostariš is really fun for testing because they have nice deep drums and they are accompanied by really high-pitched percussions, lot of different bells and rattles here, and they are tickling ear, and they actually recorded to be a bit sharp, and these earphones definitely plays it nicely, and accompanied with a big stage, this track sounds also pretty engaging. In terms of pairing, they actually require something better than regular smartphone, and FiiO were smart enough to release solution for that. They released KA2, the new digital to analog converter dongle that I will cover in one of my next reviews. And or you can use some player, for example, M11 Plus is great for them, of course. They have 45 ohms of impedance and 105 decibels of sensitivity, so they are not super hard to drive, but also they are not super sensitive either. As for compressions, unfortunately I don't have any other earbuds for compression, so only FiiO's EM5. And EM5 is still slightly more refined, with a bit better treble representation, with slightly more weighty low frequencies, but let's keep in mind that EM5 is noticeably more expensive than this model. So, you know, probably I will summarize everything this way. If you are curious and you want to try earbuds, actually FF3 will be a really good choice. They are not crazy expensive, spending $100. Of course, it's I can't say that $100 is low price, but they are not super high priced, and for the $100 you will get a totally new experience. And if you are a fan of earbuds, probably this model will be also a good addition to your collection. It's nicely balanced, it's well built, and that's it. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a great day.